I'd like to call the meeting to order. If you'd rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jill, can you call the roll, please?
Here.
Tom Yekitis,
Here.
Patrick Kelsey,
Here.
Mike Hammond,
Here.
Ben Brazaska,
Here.
Joe Yen,
Here.
and Mildred McNeil James is absent.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes and Planning Zoning Commission meeting of November 2nd, 2023.
Motion to approve the minutes of November 2nd, 2023.
Second.
Motion and a second, please call the roll.
Commissioner Brazaska,
Yes.
Commissioner Yen,
Yes.
Commissioner Bond,
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis,
Yes.
Commissioner Kelsey,
Yes.
Chairman Hammond.
Yes. At this point in the meeting, we'll go ahead and open up the public comment period. If you'd like to make a comment on something that's not on tonight's agenda, please step up to the podium, state your name, and sign in. If it's on tonight's agenda, please wait till the item comes up before the commission. Nobody online? Okay. Next item on the agenda is items for Planning Zoning Commission action, PZC 2023-016, annexation rezoning. This was opened at the last meeting and continued from the last meeting. Director Rapp.
All right, this one's pretty straightforward. The petitioner is looking to annex into the village to access village water service for the property. There are two detached garages on the property. In our residential districts, we allow one. So those two garages would become legal non-conforming and wouldn't be able to be expanded or replaced without obtaining a variance. The zoning we're proposing is R2, which is consistent with the size of the property. And staff recommends approval of the annexation and rezoning with the following conditions. The existing well on the property must be properly abandoned in accordance with Kane County Health Department regulations, and this must be completed within 90 days of connecting to the village's water system. And a Fox Metro water inspection request form must be submitted to Fox Metro once a building permit for the new water service is obtained. And that's with Fox Metro's requirements. And now it's here for your consideration.
Thank you. So the public hearing is still open, so if you'd like to make a comment on this item before the commission, please step up to the podium, state your name, and sign in, please. Okay, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing. And anything from commissioners?
Question, how is the lot served with sewer? Is it Fox Village sewer and Fox Metro or a septic field?
It's serviced by Fox Metro.
Thank you.
No other comments or questions? There's no findings of fact on this one, so it's an easy one. No, the first one, there's nothing here.
Were you
Just
planning on
annexation.
expanding the garages? Were they planning on expanding the garages?
No.
Do I need to read this? Okay, the commission must evaluate the application for annexation per the UDO. Following findings are to be evaluated by the commission. The proposed annexation is in compliance with state law. The proposed annexation is in compliance with state law. 2, the parcel proposed for annexation are contiguous to parcels located in the village. The 5.5 acre, 0.55 acre property is contiguous to parcels in the north and the west that are located within the village's corporate limits. 3, the annexation conforms to all annexation or service extension policies of the village. The annexation will conform to the village's annexation and service extension policies. 4, the proposed public infrastructure and utilities are provided to the satisfaction of the village engineer, including water facilities, wastewater facilities, drainage facilities, streets, and transportation facilities. The proposed infrastructure is satisfactory to the village engineer. 5, the proposed annexation supports only planned capital improvement policy. The proposed annexation supports planned capital improvement policy. 6, the annexation supports the land use, development intensity, and the planned pace of growth in the village as indicated in the comprehensive plan and other land use policies of the village. The annexation is in general compliance with the comprehensive plan and other land use policies of the village. There are 2 detached garages which would become legal nonconforming. Annexation, zoning upon annexation. The petitioners are requesting rezone 0.55 acre to R2. The commission must evaluate applications for map amendments per the UDO, and the following findings are to be evaluated by the commission. The proposed amendment will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. The proposed rezoning will not endanger the health, comfort, safety, convenience, and general welfare of the public. The proposed amendment is compatible with existing uses, character, and zoning of adjacent properties and other properties within the immediate vicinity of the proposed amendment. The zoning is compatible with existing uses and zoning in the immediate vicinity. The residence is single-family and exists in a single-family residential area. 3, the proposed amendment provides a relative gain to the public as compared to any hardship imposed on individual property owner. The rezoning would preserve the existing residential character of the neighborhood. 4, the proposed amendment addresses the community need for a specific use. The rezoning would expand the stock of single-family housing in the village. 5, the proposed amendment corrects an error, adds clarification, or reflects a change in policy. Not applicable. 6, the proposed amendment is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan, this ordinance, and other land use policies of the village. The rezoning is consistent with the village's comprehensive plan, which calls for the area to be detached single-family housing. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll look for a recommendation.
I move the approval of the annexation and rezoning for PZC 2023-016, Rolando S. Gutierrez, 1322 Watson Street. There are no proposed additional conditions.
We actually do have the 2 additional conditions. Once we checked with the health department and Fox Metro, they wanted those put in there for the proper abandonment of the well and the Fox Metro inspection once they're connected.
Okay, I'll amend my motion to include the Fox Metro inspection and the well abandonment.
A second.
Motion and a second, please call the roll.
Commissioner Kelsey.
Yes.
Chairman Hammond.
Yes.
Commissioner Brazaska.
Yes.
Commissioner Yin.
Yes.
Commissioner Bond.
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis.
Yes.
Thank you. That will be in front of the village board on December 11th, I believe. And part 2 of this, consideration of rezoning annexation to R2. Anything additional from staff on this? No? Okay. Look for a recommendation, please. The Martian included that? Okay, because I've got 2 items on here, so that's why I'm asking. Is it included in?
The motion included both the annexation and
Yeah,
rezoning.
it included
Yeah,
annexation.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'll move on to next item, PZC 2023-017, Comprehensive Plan Update, Orchard 30. Director Happ.
Yeah. So this is a housekeeping item. Back early this late spring, early summer, the village approved the annexation and rezoning of the 250 acres on the west side of Orchard Road, north of Route 30. The zoning included light and heavy manufacturing and regional business. The condition of approval for their zoning and their planned unit development was that the comprehensive plan needed to be updated to reflect the land uses that were approved with the new zoning and the PUD plans. So the new land use plan replaces the multifamily residential land use designation that's on the north side of Alcott Road extended to light industrial business park west of the creek and to heavy industrial east of the creek. Additionally, it expands the regional commercial land use located adjacent to Route 30, again, to reflect what was shown in the preliminary PUD plan. These changes are shown in the updated land use plan. You've got both kind of a close-up of that area and then the amended overall plans with those land uses designated. State statute does require a public hearing for comprehensive plans and amendments to them. So the Planning and Zoning Commission can make a recommendation to the village board on the amendments, and then it will become effective upon the expiration of 10 days after the date of filing our notice of adoption with the county. There's not really any findings of fact per state statute for comprehensive plan amendments. But since they're related to the land use plan and the rezoning, we are asking to use the findings that are consistent with the rezoning. So the findings you have on here are the same as we had the map amendment for the Gutierrez property. So you have those in your packet with our findings. We have no conditions that we're recommending on this, but we are recommending approval because it is in line with the condition that was part of their original approvals for their annexation, rezoning, and planned unit development.
Thank you. So at this time, I will go ahead and open the public hearing. If you'd like to speak on this matter, please step up to the podium, state your name, and sign in, please. Having no comments from the public, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing and go to the findings of fact. A, the proposed amendment will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. Response, the proposed amendment will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, or general welfare of the public and is consistent with the annexation and rezoning approved in June 2023. Industrial land uses will be focused to the north and west sides of the property away from the adjacent residential, while commercial land uses will be focused on the adjacent arterial roads, Orchard Road and Route 30. B, the proposed amendment is compatible with the existing uses, character, and zoning of adjacent properties and other properties within the immediate vicinity of the proposed amendment. The proposed land uses are compatible with the existing uses and zoning in the immediate vicinity and is consistent with the annexation and rezoning approval in June 2023. The property is surrounded by a mix of industrial, commercial, recreational, and single-family residential use. Industrial land uses will be focused to the north and west sides of the property away from the adjacent residential, while the commercial land uses will be focused on the adjacent arterial roads, Orchard Road and Route 30. C, the proposed amendment provides a relative gain to the public as compared to any hardship imposed on an individual property owner. The proposed amendment will allow new industrial and employment in an area that is largely removed from residences and adjacent to existing industrial uses and is consistent with the annexation and rezoning approved in June 2023. It will also allow for new commercial development to serve residents, businesses, and visitors on the west side of the village. D, the proposed amendment addresses the community need for a specific use. The proposed amendment allows for continued growth of Montgomery's industrial and commercial base and is consistent with the annexation and rezoning approved in June 2023. Proposed amendments correct an error, adds clarification, or reflects a change in policy not applicable. F, the proposed amendment is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan, this ordinance, and other land use policies of the village. The proposed amendment is consistent with the intent of the village's comprehensive plan, the UDO, and other land use policies of the village, and is consistent with the annexation and rezoning approved in June 2023. Those are the findings of fact. Commissioners, any comments, questions, or issues? If there's nothing, I'll look for a recommendation.
I move the approval of the proposed amendment to the land use plan of the Village of Montgomery's Comprehensive Plan, PZC 2023-017, Comprehensive Plan Amendment Orchard 30.
I second.
Have a motion and a second, please call the roll.
Commissioner Kelsey?
Yes.
Chairman Hammond?
Yes.
Commissioner Yen?
Yes.
Commissioner Bond?
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis?
Yes.
And that item will come before the village board on Monday, December 11th.
Will we just count you in that vote too, Ben?
Just add me.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, did you get missed?
Sorry.
Next item on the agenda is PZC 20, looks like 223, but I'm imagining it's 2023-019 parking variation, 160 Sherman, Antonio Castellan.
All right, another bit of housekeeping, a little bit of deja vu. Petitioner was here for this property in October before the commission. The village board approved his special use and variances to allow 2 multi-unit dwellings, 6 units total in 2 structures. And due to staff oversight, we missed one thing in the UDO that he would also need to get a variance for in order to bring the property fully into conformance. So he's now here to correct that error. The property would require, multi-unit dwellings require a certain amount of enclosed parking spaces. These 6 units would require 5. He only has 3 currently. So no changes are being proposed to the property. This is just bringing it fully into conformance. Staff recommends approval. And we have no proposed conditions. The conditions from the previous rezoning apply.
Okay.
Yeah, the special use, excuse me.
I'll go ahead and open up the public hearing. If you'd like to make a comment on this matter, please step up to the podium, state your name and sign in, please. I will swear you in. Okay, no comments. We'll close public comments, public hearing, and move on to the findings of fact. The proposed variation will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. Petitioner, is the petitioner's opinion that the proposed variation will not endanger the health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. The staff concurs with the petitioner that the variation will not endanger health, safety, comfort, convenience, and general welfare of the public. 2, the proposed variation is compatible with the character of adjacent properties and other properties within the immediate vicinity of the proposed variation. Petitioner, yes, the variation is compatible. Staff, no changes are being proposed for the site plan or aesthetic character of the property. 3, the proposed variation alleviates an undue hardship created by literal enforcement of this ordinance. Petitioner, the variation would prevent the demolition of a functional structure. Staff comments, the village board granted a special use for multi-unit dwellings on the property, but without the proposed variance, the property cannot accommodate the approved special use without amending the special use. 4, the proposed variation is necessary due to the unique physical attributes of the property in which were not deliberately created by the petitioner. Petitioner, the property was purchased with the use already established. Staff, the variation is necessary due to the village board action and not due to a nonconformance created by the petitioner. 5, the proposed variation represents the minimum deviation from the regulations of this ordinance necessary to accomplish the desired improvement of the property. Petitioner, the petitioner represents the minimum deviation because the structure has already been built. Staff, the proposed variation, the minimum deviation that would allow the approved special use to exist on the property. 6, the proposed variation is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan, this ordinance, and other land use policies of the village. It is the petitioner's belief that the variation is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan and the UDO. Staff concurs with the petitioner that the variation is consistent with the intent of the comprehensive plan and the UDO. Commissioners, any questions, comments, or issues with the,
If I remember correctly.
Proposed
there was-
variation.
There was adequate parking, just not enclosed.
Correct.
What's the required number of spaces for the 6 units?
There's 5 required enclosed spaces. There are 3 enclosed spaces there currently. I don't remember how many spaces are there, but it was ample. It was more than required in terms of the unenclosed spaces.
So I think they're required 12 spaces overall, and they have adequate room to accommodate more than 12 parking spaces on the site between the couple of paved areas.
And the feeling is that there's adequate turning radius so that no one has to back out onto Sherman, or will they continue to have to back out onto Sherman? Because that's the way they leave the property now.
They will continue to have to back out as they have been. No
So
change in
it's a
that.
It's a multi-tenant facility with no ability to turn around inside for parking.
Depending on how they park, some could be able to turn around, but it's an existing condition.
Correct, I guess I wasn't here for the plan commission where it was heard, so we can't rehear all of that, but I just wonder how it was never enforced to begin with. It was certainly open and notorious. Other comments?
anything else? If not, I'll look for a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve the variance from UDO table 10.02.1 for PZC 2023-019 Antonio Castellan, 160 Sherman. The following conditions should apply, and there were no conditions.
I'll second.
A motion in a second, please call the roll.
Commissioner Brazostka?
Yes.
Commissioner Yen?
Yes.
Commissioner Bond?
Yes.
Commissioner Yekitis?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelsey?
No.
Chairman Hammond?
1 second. Yes. That will come before the village board on December 11th, Monday. Next item on the agenda, community development update and new business.
All right, from our last meeting, the variance for the carport was approved by the village board. So we are working with the petitioner on getting her permit. She is anticipating that she will come in for the permit in the springtime and move forward with that. We have construction continuing, so I don't know if you've seen the walls going up at Ravago as you're driving up and down Orchard Road, but we continue to have progress over there. Cooper's Hawk continues to move along, so we're excited to have that. Starbucks has broken ground, so they're working over there. So the developer's gotten the site development permits and is building the shell. Starbucks has submitted for their interior build-out, so they'll have their plans right there, ready to go and get their permit once the shell is completed. So things are continuing to move along.
Great. Anything from the commissioners or any? Next meeting is January 4th, 2024, and we are adjourned. Thank you.